Uh,
All right.
your name is?
My name's Rob. My friends call me CK.
CK. What's your ethnicity?
I'm just a mix of pretty much everything, except maybe Asian, I would say, Japanese, Chinese, but equal parts of Caucasian, African American, Hispanic. Things get muddy once you get south of the border. American Indian. I mean, I couldn't tell you. So.
Okay. So how do you go about that in your day-to-day life?
Well, it's weird. A lot of people, they stick to those rigid bounds. It's like to identify what they are. It's like if you're white, you're white. And
yeah.
Or if you're black, then you're black, and you're, and you're down with the hood, or if you're Spanish, gente, as they like to say. For me, it's been a gift and a curse. The gift being that it's always easy for me to kind of blend into the periphery, kind of go under the radar, so to speak. Hard because I never really identified with any particular group. Like I was never black enough to hang out with black kids at school. I was never Spanish enough. Plus my Spanish really sucked, so Spanish kids never really considered me one. And obviously I couldn't pass for a white person, so I was just kind of like stuck in my own little CK mode.
Was it hard interacting with other people? Like, do you have friends more so of one race than another? If so, why? Honest, to tell you the truth, I want to say that I probably have more white friends. One thing I've noticed about some other groups, black people, Spanish as well, they really do kind of like, at least from what I've seen, is that they really kind of prefer to stick to their own. I don't know if that's like a defense mechanism or if that's just them being shy or something like that. But as far as in my travels, it's been easier for me to get into the white social groups, than it was the black. Just a contemporary American, I guess. I didn't grow up in any one particular place. I don't speak a particular way. I don't have a noticeable accent one way or the other. As far as being from the north, or being from down south, or being from the hood, or being from the country, it's really kind of bland. Just everything about me is like extra regular. Are there certain stereotypes that you try to fight, or in your case it's kind of hard because you have so many stereotypes?
Well, one thing I will tell you one thing that is especially taken over is I get misidentified as being from the Middle East, whether it's actually being Arab or Bedouin, or you know what I'm saying. And a lot of people are Farsi, and a lot of people don't know the differences. Between those things, but they just figure, oh, you're kind of brown, you don't really act Spanish, therefore you must be Haji Durag, and especially after September 11th.
Of course.
Is when this has really especially become prevalent. Before 9/11, it used to be the Spanish jokes, and now it's the raghead jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, first it was, oh, you must have swam here, you must have jumped the fence, and now it's, hey, are you about to blow up the school?
And then, of course, it also has something to do with this being a military town, too.
Yeah, I think that's got a lot to do with it.
It does.
Because I go out there, and especially not being so easy to identify, being able to quantify me into one group, oh, he's Spanish, or oh, he's black, or oh, he's white. It's kind of like, it becomes like a, oh, well, what's left kind of thing, what else can we grab out of the bag? And a lot of those, especially the Middle Eastern ones, seem to be prevalent. They just jump out. I don't know how or why. It's not like I don't dress like an Arab or like an Iranian or anything like that. Nor do I think that they dress much different than I do. Maybe not a football jersey. Might be soccer instead. But
have you ever been called derogatory terms, whether it be Middle Eastern or?
I have heard them all. I have. Even, not so much obviously the strong ones, nigger, spick, raghead, Haji, anything that they could throw at a brown dude, you know what I'm saying? Indian drunk trash, and even not like the major ones aside, I've gotten a lot of like more subtle ones, you know? Cause I guess I don't know, but people talk about how racism is still alive and stuff, and it's just more subtle now. One I can remember is in the 3rd or 4th grade, this girl called me burnt toast. And it stuck with me to this day because, you know, I just remember being really mad. You know, I was like, I didn't know how to explain it. I didn't feel sad. I felt angry. Like you know, this girl didn't know me at all except for what she saw on the outside, and that was the only thing she was using the base to pass judgment. Never mind how I talk. Never mind what kind of professional accolades I may have gained or who I might be to the world at large. You know, all she saw was a kid with skin like burnt toast.
What are common questions that other groups have about you, and or how do they impose what they think of you onto like your attributes?
I got a perfect one for you, and this is one I get more often than not from white people. Not that I think that they're necessarily trying to be mean, or not that I think that they're racist, but one of the most common questions I get asked is, where am I from? You know, it's an obvious question. And you know, I'm just used to saying, you know, hey, I was born in New York and I'm military family. And then I'll get the follow-up question, and this is the one that's always the kicker. And anybody who's racially ambiguous feels me on this, because it's like, no, where are you really from? Or where are your parents from? Or what's your background? Or what's your nationality? And then it's almost like I can't be an individual. Like, is being from New York that hard to understand for you? You know, I was born in New York City. Like, what more should I have to say? You know, it kind of makes me feel like I'm not a person anymore. Like, I'm just trying to be. They're trying to figure me out so they can be comfortable with their worldview. And then for me, you know, it doesn't matter whether I'm an individual or not.
Well, another question I would like to ask you is, I mean, is there, within whatever group that you claim the most, is there gender roles like defined, like would your father or mother have to have a certain role?
Traditionally, Spanish people, and I tend to identify most with Spanish people. It's very, very traditional, very religious. I've never actually seen my grandparents actually go to church, not for a very long time, but I know that my grandparents are still very religious. My parents are religious in their own way, not so much, and it hasn't been an emphasis in our family here.
You care to state what religion you are?
For a very long time. I actually consider myself to be agnostic.
All right. But your family, or your
traditionally, my family comes from a Roman Catholic background.
Okay.
My whole position is kind of like, I think people fight way too much over God.
Which God is right?
Or which God is right, or you know what I'm saying? And they spend not enough time worrying about problems that are right in front of their face that they actually can fix. You know, rather than arguing over rhetoric, like, let's fix things that we can fix, or solve issues that we can solve. Very pragmatic like that.
Well, thank you, Robert, or Rob CK.
Thank you.
It's nice having you.